All-Pro punt returner, stud wide receiver for Seattle, game wrecker for the newly minted top seed in the NFC, Rashid Shaheed. What does this feel like? Paint me that picture.
It was amazing to be able to pull off that kind of win and to have that type of significance. To be in first place with the new team. Feels amazing to be able to come here and make an impact. For the coaches to believe in me in those situations. It means everything, and it's starting to pay off for sure.
Can you walk me through the 58-yard punt return touchdown, which completely changed the momentum of the game? When the ball hits your hands, what happens?
So the 10 other guys did a great job. They kind of opened up a lane. I caught the ball. I saw a ton of space. So all I had to do was kind of just run and almost went untouched. So shout out to those guys. But it was an exciting play, a play that I think we needed. And, it kind of turned the game around, like you said.
Why are you so casual about that score and seemingly everything?
Hey, I'm just enjoying my job, doing my job. And
And I feel like if you were enjoying it, we'd get a little something out of you. No celebration. You put the ball down and just head to the sidelines like nothing. Like, come on.
yeah, it was kind of like a job not finished type of situation, more work
No,
to
I
do.
don't know. What do you mean by that?
We were still down by what? It was
16.
10 at that point. Yeah, so still had some more work to do. That score was important, but it was time for the defense to get a stop, and they did, and we were able to capitalize.
So I feel better. How do I know? How do you celebrate? So I know that you do celebrate. How do you celebrate games like this, moments like this? The next drive, 31-yard rush out of you to set up the AJ Barner touchdown. How do I know
Yeah.
what the celebration is? When does it happen?
Yeah. Um, the celebration really came after it was all done. We really wanted to finish the game. Once, the fourth quarter, 0-0, that's when the real celebration happened. But up until then, it was just focus.
And you don't know what it looks like. Are you in the locker room? Are you like what you I feel
Yeah.
like you're lying and you don't celebrate it. Is that fair?
A little bit. A
Hmm,
little bit.
interesting. How long has Clint Kubiak been waiting to call that play?
For a minute. He was very eager throughout the whole week. He was talking about how we had to score on the reverse. We had to, make the play work just so we can continue to put it on film. And, it was just came down to execution and it worked. I'm sure he was happy and he wasn't happy that we didn't score, but
Hmm.
um, it was definitely a momentum shifter. Sure.
He was your OC in New Orleans, of course. You guys have some
Yeah.
chemistry. How much does that matter for you coming here mid-season and getting to work with Clint?
Yeah, it mattered a ton. Obviously being familiar with him, being comfortable around him. He always believed in me in New Orleans, and it was a ton of fun working with him. And now getting a chance to work with him here, we felt like we hadn't missed a beat at all. Came in and it took a little bit just to get the offense back and into my brain and kind of learning the system again. But yeah, ever since the first couple of weeks, I feel like it's been a smooth transition with him, and it's just been fun.
I'd say it's been pretty fun. Pretty smooth. That's a good very humble way to put it. Uh I've said you're a game wrecker. You really are. This wasn't the first time this past week that you've done that. Your 100-yard kick return touchdown against the Falcons also changed the momentum of that game. You accounted for all of the Seahawks yards on a game-winning drive against Indy. I feel like we need to maybe tell Clint to get you the ball even more. No?
Nah, when opportunity comes, I'm gonna be ready for it. But we got a lot of playmakers on this team, and I'm sure he gets kind of stressed out, having to, deal with all of us and wanting to get us all the ball. But it's working out, and we're winning, so that's all that matters to me.
There's this whole idea about Sam, a positive one, finally, that he maybe, and these are Hall of Famers telling me this on my show, like a Chris Carter, like Hall of Famer saying, if he gets that win over the Rams, what that will do for him, the confidence it'll give him, have you noticed that already this week after that game? What did, in your words, as somebody who's around him a lot, what did that win do to him?
I felt that it reminded him of who kind of he is as a competitor and the belief that we have in him as a team. As the team goes as he goes, and he knows that he's been around the league long enough and he's played in a bunch of big games. And, he was in this situation last year with the Vikings where, they won a bunch of games and, they're a playoff team and he's kind of in the same position here. So I think he just knows he has to handle himself in in the right way and just continue to compete and lead us to the promised land. And he's doing a great job of that. And he proved that he could come in clutch in these big games.
Sounds like he needed to prove it to himself or something. You guys all have his back, believe him. And he was able to do it. There was like this camera shot watching at home. There was a camera shot of the huddle during the comeback, and Sam looked a way I've not seen Sam look, very intense. What
Mhm.
was he saying as all of that was unfolding? And what caught your attention most through that fourth quarter into overtime to lead this team?
Yeah, just the fact that he didn't blink, like there was no time in the game where the score was, where he got super down. He just, he knew that we were gonna have an opportunity to win, and yeah, he just kind of kept that in our minds, and that's exactly kind of how it went. But I might have not been in the huddle when he had that moment when the camera was on his face, but I know throughout the whole game that he was just super locked in, super focused, and when it came down to it, he was gonna be ready, and if he was gonna be ready, we needed to be ready. And that's how it was.
You've won 7 games with Coach Mike Macdonald.
Yeah.
There's all of these, who should be coach of the year and what about him doesn't get talked about enough? What is an underrated or not underrated in your locker room, but something y'all know that maybe we don't about him?
How he gets all of us to buy in each and every week. I feel like every week is a new reset and just a reminder of, what we're fighting for, how close he brings us. The locker room is super close. His um, closest I've seen. I've been around, and it's super cool to see. Being able to come into such a locker room that where you could genuinely feel the love and care from each and everybody. I feel like Coach McDonald has kind of instilled that in us, and I feel like that's how we're able to stick together in games like that, like we just had, and continue to push and fight for each other. And that's how you kind of get.
Did you know when the move was made that this was going to be the move of the deadline, knowing what you knew about Clint, about what, or were you just head on like, let me get there and put my head down? Did you have, I mean, this move that this team made at the deadline, it was the best like move of the year.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
no, it
know?
was a lot. I didn't. Of course, there was a lot of excitement and a lot of buzz around it, but I was just ready to come in and make an impact and just keep the main thing, not let everything else kind of distract me. Just continue to go out and do my thing. And of course, it's for a new team, but it's been a ton of fun and I'm loving it.
I bet it's a whirlwind. Maybe you won't be able to even think about it until the off season, maybe after you win a Super
Yeah.
Bowl, like what that was like to go. I'm trying to imagine like all that goes into. I remember talking to veteran players, like I remember talking to your former quarterback, Derek Carr, about that, going, getting to New Orleans, getting his bearings under him, the moving, the family, the all this. Like that
Yeah.
can't be easy.
Definitely not easy. It's a lot, but got to handle it in a professional way and it'll all work out.
Yeah. And it clearly has. You get to work with JSN, who's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And then you get to see catches in practice. What's the craziest catch you've seen him make?
I would say the one in the Titans game, the bomb where the DB was kind of on him and he just acted like it was like a walkthrough, like nobody was around. That was very impressive because those catches as a receiver are not easy, and he made it look like it was just a walk in the park. But he does it all the time, and you can see throughout his week how much he focuses on like hand-eye coordination and like balance and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so those type of plays, we're not surprised at
You know,
all.
everybody
But
thinks it looks easy, but y'all are working so hard, and it's
yeah,
so nice to see come together, especially with the leadership that you guys have. You have an opponent this week that I love for you. You're very familiar with these Panthers. They're feisty though. They look
yeah.
good. Bunch of big ones against them for you in your career. What are you most excited about in that matchup?
Ooh, see how we fare against their defense. I know their defense has played really well these last few weeks. So I'm excited to go out there and compete. They obviously have a lot to play for right now, so it's definitely not going to be a walk in the park. They're going to give us our best shot. So super excited to go out there. It's going to be nice to play in Carolina again, a stadium I'm familiar with. So it should be a good one.
I know you're focused on this year, and you've had a lot going on. Seahawks fans have fallen in love with you over this short couple of months. What does that feel like from where you sit, the Seahawks fandom?
Yeah. Feels amazing. The 12s they're a rowdy group and they carry it when we're home. The energy that they bring, it's crazy, honestly. It gets loud, it gets wild. rain, sleet, snow, whatever, they're gonna be in there and it's gonna be rocking. And yeah, that Thursday night game was a perfect example of that. They were not a seat was empty throughout the whole game, so it was awesome.
Unforgettable. You seem to fit in.
Yeah,
Do you, do you
try my
see
best.
yourself sticking around?
I for sure do. Yeah, I feel like they brought me here for a reason, and that's to be here for a minute, and that's the goal.
Be here to make impact at crucial points of huge games and turn them on their head and do your thing. You are a free agent after the season. I'd like to see you stay there. I know it's business, but
Yeah.
for now, good luck against those Panthers. You're the best. I appreciate you. Good luck and congratulations. Keep it going.
Thank you, Kay.